Hello, this is Kavita Tikku and I welcome you all to SEAT ISRL Beyond the Track in conversation with the local heroes of Supercross. We are here at SEAT Shopee to have a wonderful interaction with these young champions. Welcome Ikshan Sarthak, welcome Rugved and welcome Sarthak Chavan. Why don't you guys introduce yourself a bit?
I'm Ikshan Sarthak. I ride for TVS Petronas racing team and I have won one national championship.
Hi guys, my name is Rugved. I ride for TVS Petronas Racing and I'm 5 times national champion.
Hello, my name is Sarthak Chavan. I'm 16 years old from Pune. I am off-road and circuit racer. I've got 3 national championships and a couple of international podiums as well.
Wonderful. Now that we are all done with the introductions, we can jump on to the questions we have for you. Rugved, I'll begin with you. Can you share about your journey into the Supercross racing and what initially drew you to the sport?
So I belong to a racing family.
Wow.
So my father, my cousins, my uncles, everyone used to race, and I used to see my brothers racing. So that's what kept me always motivated. I also want to race one day. So back in 2012, my dad bought me a 85cc. From the journey began from 2012. So when he got me a bike, he taught me how to ride it. Like he started giving me training. And that's how he took me forward. Like I started winning a couple of races, couple of national championships, couple of local events. And from 2014, TVS got me. Like I was into TVS, so that's how the journey was. It's going on.
Oh, that's wonderful. Sarthak, what is a typical training regimen like for a professional Supercross racer? Can you tell us how do you guys maintain peak physical condition all the time?
So Supercross demands a lot of physical fitness and a rider has to go through maybe 30-minute motos per day, and so for that we need a lot of endurance, and so a rider does cycling, swimming, running and also some gym training to build up their endurance. And there is a lot of problem what riders face is arm pumps. So riders have to train for forearms, so which they can make faster laps and win the race.
Oh wow! Can you give me an example of what is your usual day like in terms of your training?
So now I do yoga and cycling every day, and there are a lot of gym sessions which I do, and that's it.
Ikshan, I can see that you have few injuries on your body. So seems like injuries are a common part of this sport.
It is.
So how do you make sure that all the injuries are recovered, and what is the whole process?
Thankfully, I have had really few major injuries, but like I've had broken my wrist and my collarbone, and I did whatever the doctor said so that I can recover fast and be back on the bike as soon as possible. I did like physiotherapy, rehab, and then strength training, stuff like that.
Okay. So what is an average time period of recovery in these injuries?
For a broken bone, it's minimum 2 months.
Oh.
And then again, you have to make sure that it won't break again. So you have to work around the bone, the muscles around the bone. So it's really complicated, which I don't understand. So the doctor just tells me to do, and I do it.
Just follow the rules.
Follow the rules, yeah.
So it seems like that every rider has had some experience with these kind of injuries. So who among you 3 has had the most injuries till now in your races?
I have the most injuries. Like I have so many injuries. I have broken collarbone, I have dislocated shoulders, which keeps on dislocating now and then. If I sneeze also, it will come out, it pops out. So yeah, injuries play a big role, because if your event is coming up and you have an injury, so you have to recover, you have to do the physiotherapy, you have to visit the doctors again and again. And sometimes what happens is like there are always two motors in the race. So in the motor, if you crash, if you pop out shoulder or something, like if you like some normal injury, if you broke your finger, but you are still able to ride. But sometimes doctor don't allow you to ride. But the rider has this thing like whatever happens, you have to ride, you have to be on the bike. So that's what we go through from an injury.
So I have this question for all of you. Does it ever scare you thinking about these injuries? Like, I'm sure you all have had few injuries here and there. Does it ever make you feel like I shouldn't be doing this? Or what makes you keep going?
I think for me it's my goal to win the World Championship.
Oh, wow.
So that's the part.
And what about you guys?
Yeah, it's the same. It keeps us motivating, the crashes which happen, the setbacks which we get, and as everyone says, the comeback is stronger than the setback. So yeah.
Okay, so I want to know your favorite memory of Supercross till now. All the races that you've been, what's the most favorite moment for you till now?
Yeah, so it was recently in 2022. I was leading the national championship, and there was like literally like 5-point difference between me and my opponent, my teammate. So it was a do or die situation. If I would have not done the first, like I wouldn't have win both of the motors, I would have lost the championship. And I wouldn't have lost the championship, but it's always being in the first place. So it was always keeping reminding me that I have to win the race. So the first moto I finished first, and the second moto I was not first, but if I would have finished second place, I would have still got the championship. But it was like I was second, but I always had that thing that anyhow it's the last race and I have to win and get the best rider home. So it was a very tricky situation because the track was really short and it was just 5 laps left. So I had to take a chance in a corner, and I just we had a very tough fight between me and my competitor. So which would have completely, if I would have crashed, I would have lost the entire championship. So that was the memorable point, and yeah, that's what.
What about you guys? Any favorite memories?
I think for me it would be my first race.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, it was back in 2014. It was the Velo.
Okay.
The same race organized by Ikshan Dada, and it was really something extraordinary for me.
Okay, it was the first ignition.
Yeah.
And what about you, Sarthak?
For me, the best memory would be me winning one of the races with 3 broken fingers on my right leg. And there were maybe 4 races at that time, and I could win 2 out of them. And that was one of the best memory I've had so far.
Oh, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Supercross is not just about racing. It's also about fans and the atmosphere. So, Rugved, what's your favorite memory of your fans or at a particular race? Any favorite moment?
So after winning all the races, it's always a fan moment. Because when you win, the public is like already in a zone that they are already cheering you. So once the race is done, so all the public rush into the pits, gets like they want pictures with us, and so basically all the races has a fan moment. So I don't remember such moments like it's like fan moment. It's always a fan moment.
Okay. What about you guys?
Like Rugved said, every winning is a fan moment, and every place has a different vibe and presence. But if I had to choose my favorite fan moment, it would be when I won the national championship.
Of course. And what about you, Sarthak?
For me, the biggest fan moment was when I was racing in Aurangabad in 2018, and I was one of the youngest over there who was racing in that race. And so after I finished first in one of the races, the crowd over there went mad and came into the pits and like lifted me in the air, and there were a lot of people cheering for me, and that feels really good to see how the fans help us and motivate us to give more results further.
Yes, that would be an amazing feeling, I'm sure. Travel is a big part of Supercross season. Sarthak, how do you manage the demanding touring schedule?
So before a race weekend, a rider has to pack everything for what all he needs for the race, and the major part is how the bike is going to travel. So from one place to other, the rider has to choose what type of transportation he is going to use, and the rider himself has to travel by flights or by car if the race is nearby, and that is what happens during a race weekend, and that's all.
Any interesting story about your travel?
No, I don't remember any.
Okay. What about you guys? Any interesting time when the bike was sent and you were traveling? Anything?
Before I signed up with TVS, I used to participate as a privateer, and we used to carry our bikes in our car. So
Okay.
in the pickup trucks, and local lights from the area used to come and ask us what racing
What is this and
what
all?
is this?
Oh, that must be a wonderful experience.
We used to take our photos and take our Instagrams and
Nice.
autographs and stuff.
So, any interesting stories about your travels?
So one time we went to Philippines for Asian Championship, me and Sarthak, and we went to the mall and there was Belgian waffles. We were kids then, we were like 10 or 11 years old, and he was asking the lady at the counter if she was single.
So, what was the reply, Sarthak?
She laughed.
Straight away rejected.
She gave us extra Nutella though.
Oh, see, it got you something. So, Ikshan, tell me, balancing a personal life with a demanding racing career can be challenging. How do you strike that balance?
Racing is my life actually. Everything else just gets adjusted around it.
Okay.
So, luckily for me, I have a really supportive college and school, which they give me holidays for my racing schedules and help me in my education as well.
And what about your personal life with your parents, with your friends?
Like in a day, I have an hour, especially 1 hour in the evening, 4 o'clock, only for my friends, and rest of the day is workout, studies, and having dinner, proper protein foods.
And what about mom and dad? Where do they fit in the schedule?
They're always in the schedule. They're always traveling with him. So.
They're always there.
Okay, that's wonderful. And what about you guys? Ever felt that your racing career was more demanding and you couldn't give more time to your personal life?
Nothing like that. Like it's always scheduled properly. Like when we have practice sessions, we are on the track, and when we don't have the practice sessions, so we are doing the regular thing like schooling, have college, hanging out with friends. So whenever we just keep in mind, like whenever we hang out with friends, so we have to follow the regular diet.
Right.
So we can't skip the diet.
Oh my
So,
God,
yeah.
you must be a little bummer for your other friends, right?
Yeah.
But you must also be quite popular in your school.
Yeah.
Good. The mental aspect of a race is quite crucial. So Rugved, can you share some pre-race rituals or any techniques that you use in a race to stay focused under so much of pressure?
Basically, like when I'm on the track, the focus is like, the main focus is always on the start line. It starts from the start line itself. Whenever you are on the start line, so it's just you, the bike and the track. So I don't have regular rituals. So I usually be on the track, I just focus, I close my eyes, I just remember the track, I remember the lines, and once the gate drops, like I have the whole shot and I'm in the front, and what I can see is just the finish line. That's what my focus is. So yeah.
What about you guys? Any pre-race rituals?
So what I do is I warm up before the race and also pray to God for the best race to be ridden, and also like pray to the bike that she helps me in all the ways possible to get the win. And yeah, just there is a lot of focus and nervousness inside the rider's mind, which happens before the gate drops.
Okay, I'm sure once the gate drops, you all must be just too focused and no other thought comes in your mind at that time.
As I said, it's just the bike and the track and the rider.
What about your competition in the race? Does it ever bother you?
Yeah, it keeps on bothering because you have a competition.
You have to win. If
No,
there
I'm
is no
sure,
competition, then yeah.
I know, completely right. But when you're in the track, when you're riding and you see somebody crossing or something, does it ever bother you, or you just keep telling yourself that I have to be at the finish line first?
Yeah, when you are behind someone, or if you are in front and the whole group is behind you, like they are chasing you, so you have to be very, like, you have to think very quickly, because you never know what's going to, like, if Ikshan is behind me, so I never know what it's going to be his next move. Is he taking the outer line, is he taking the inner line, or is he has a strategy to take over jump and pass me. So that's what always keeps going, like whenever a rider is behind. So you have to be very focused, like yeah, like sometimes yeah, we have to be very calm while riding.
So
you have to keep thinking, and there is always someone on the track, like my dad will be there to keep the track, like he will show the board, or he will show the board, or he will just tell me to calm down. Or Tanika is always there, so she keeps me reminding that you have to calm down, you have to go, like don't over push yourself.
Yeah,
you are in the lead. So
it's a lot of being fully aware of your surroundings and also being focused at your goal. Great. Supercross community seems to be very tight-knit. So Ikshan, are there any fellow riders who have inspired you or who you have mentored along the way?
Since I've started racing, everyone has helped me in terms of racing. Like for Sarthak's dad, he has always been there for whenever there's a problem with my bike. And like mentor has inspired my fellow teammate Rugved. During practice, he always helps me, he gives me tips, he tells my mistakes. And yeah, he's my aim, to be honest, right now.
Oh wow, that's amazing. That must be amazing to know about.
Yeah, but sometimes I think I'm the only one who
all the racing community is aiming me right now. So I have to always be like 2 steps ahead.
So who are you aiming to be?
Right now, it's all international riders who like Jeffrey Hurlings and all. But right now, for the moment, I don't have. I just it's me versus my lap times.
Okay.
So I just focus on my lap time, and I make sure that every lap is a faster lap. So that's what I'm aiming right now.
So since you're the senior most, do you have any advice for the young racers, the young riders in the sport?
Yeah, the first advice will be like, first of all, the young racers who are getting into the sport, they have to buy like full gear. Safety wise, safety always comes first. So most of I've seen riders who are compromising in the getting for the new gear.
Okay.
Like they get a helmet which is 1 size bigger, because parents think like he's in a growing age, so it might help him in the future, but that's completely wrong. So always have a helmet which fits you perfectly. It doesn't matter if it's like gets smaller also, you can buy a new helmet, because it's at the end it's a life. So first of all, it's the gear, and second is the perfect training. You have to conquer the best basics what you have to learn for the Supercross. It's not about the speed. Once you learn the basics, the speed comes automatically. So that's what I will advise to the younger riders.
So do not rush and be careful about the safety.
Yeah.
Sarthak, is there something that our audience would be interested to know besides the racing? Any different interests or hobbies that you have?
I like cycling the most, and also I love to swim. And go to the gym, work out is what my hobbies are right now.
Okay, so whatever helps with your race is a part of your hobbies now.
Yeah,
what about you guys?
Yeah, like I have a hobby of skating, so I love skating.
Okay.
So it's a total different sport. So when I am off the bike, so I just go skate around. So it improves my stamina as well.
Yeah.
And it's really a different sport. So I love doing alternative sports as well.
And what about you, Ikshan?
I play basketball
Oh, wonderful.
and I play also guitar.
Wow.
I'm learning actually.
That's good to know. Okay, now that CEAT ISRL is here in this game, what do you think, Rugved? How will it shape the future of Supercross in India?
Definitely the sponsors are coming in and it will definitely grow up the sport. Like we'll have a good league, like it's on an international level. So even the international riders are coming to India, so they will always know the tracks in India are also better, and there is a league in India which will be always competitive. So I think it will change the game.
So you think you guys all will have to gear up since there are more international riders?
Yes.
We will need a lot of preparation also.
And you will have more practice sessions now because of the leave, I believe.
Yeah, more practice sessions, more endurance, and yeah, basically a lot of practice to be with the international guys.
So what do you think, how is CEAT ISRL going to shape the future of Supercross in India?
I feel the CEAT RSRL would be one of the game changers worldwide, as it is one of the first Supercross racing league, and it happening first time in India would be really great. And the venues, the stadiums in which we are going to race, and the sponsors coming in, and team franchisees, team orders, the riders, international riders coming in to race in India. And I feel the competition is going to be really high, and the best rider wins is what I feel.
Motorsports in India is really in the beginning stage, I would like to say, and this event is going to make it a lot bigger and more exciting for the fans as well as the rider, and I think it's going to be really great.
And what about you, Rugved? How do you feel about it?
Yeah, it's going to be a game changer because lots of teams will be there, and even the sponsors will be there. So it will be in a like the riders and the public will be in the large amount, and even the sport will be sport is growing. So it will be great for India also to have the Supercross happening in India, and even for the riders who is coming internationally. So it's going to be a great thing.
I think it's time that Supercross gets the recognition it deserves in India.
Yeah.
Do you agree?
Yes.
We do.
So, has there ever been a race where all three of you had participated? How was the situation there? Were you competitors, or you guys kept your friendship still there?
So basically the friendship is when we are off the bike,
Yeah.
or if we are practicing, we are very good friends, but when it comes to the race start line, it's like totally strangers.
Stood in the gate, behind the gate, you are strangers, you are nobody.
Yeah.
You're not friends, you're not brother, even if you're related by blood.
Yeah, if I get a chance to like put him in some of the corners, I won't hesitate. I'll just go.
And do you guys take it personally later on?
No,
or?
we do not.
No,
It's
we
a part of a racing, so it's a racing incident.
I think it plays a huge role on how you grow up and how you take this. So a lot of mental aspect comes into the picture for this, I believe.
Yes.
What's your take on this, Sarthak?
I feel there is a lot of sportsmanship which happens on the racetrack. Like the riders need to be thinking of what they should be doing, and it should be done in a correct way. The riders and their friendship don't play a role when we are racing, but yeah, off the track it is really good, and everyone shares their experiences of how their race went.
Yeah, and lot of while racing, lot of incidents happen. Like for the first round of MRF, like we were in the first round of national championship. We both were in the same team, and in the first corner he fell on me, and I was stuck inside the bike, underneath the bike. And I was simply screaming like, "Ikshan, utha, utha, nikalna hai." So this all happens, but it's a part of a game. Like afterwards, I didn't yell at him like, "Why did you crash on me?"
Just laughed it off.
Yeah. It was
That's wonderful. That shows a great sportsmanship in all of you. So, any fun interactions on the track or off the track? Any weird questions asked by people?
Yeah, so most of the times, like whenever we are on the fueling station, like when the bike is loaded in the truck and we are about to go for a practice or something, like people usually ask like, where are you going? Like, do you do circus or something like that? Like, do you perform in the circus? Or, because India, most of the people don't know about the sport.
Yeah.
So this will be the game changer for ISL also, because people will start recognizing the sport, and it will be great for India as well.
So I think it's going to be great for the riders, for the sport, and for the country itself, and people will get to know about this sport. And have more knowledge and not ask any stupid questions anymore. So, any interaction with your fans after the game, after the race?
Few of my races when I crash and I finish in like not a good position, but I give it all. The fans come into the pit and tell me like you were the fastest and you are like our winner. You are the person who should have won, if not for the crash.
That's great.
And they motivate me so I can push harder in the next round.
Any Instagram stalking after the races?
Yeah, a lot of Instagram stalking. Like,
I'm sure you guys must be gaining more followers, especially female followers after your races.
Yeah. I think boys are more interested in the sport, so right now as of
but the females would be more interested in you guys.
Yeah.
Okay.
No comments on that.
Well, what about the travel? Has there been any such situations where you were worried your race is about to start and maybe you don't have your gear or something, anything of that sort?
Yeah, once I was in the factory, I was testing the bikes, and we kept the gear bag in the factory, and the factory team forgot our kit bags and they came directly to the race. And I was like, where is the kit bag? They said like, we forgot the kit bag. So this is where we have to borrow the other gears from the
other riders,
teammate or some other riders.
So you have to be prepared for anything that can happen on the race day. Sarthak, you're an off-road racer, and as we can see that off-road racing is growing in India. What do you think is needed the most at this moment to support this passion?
So, as Supercross is a financially demanding sport, a rider needs to get sponsorships for him to make his work easier and spend a little less money. So a rider tries to get into a factory team or maybe save his money by getting gears from other dealers, like getting it sponsored from others, and that's what the support which Indian riders need right now.
So you think sponsorships are really going to help the riders?
Yes.
In giving their best and not being worried about the finances?
Yeah.
Okay. And do you know that CEAT has launched its new multi-grip tires? What's your take on them?
Yes, I have heard of them, and as per the comments I've listened that they provide good reliability and good grip, and also have a good lean angle which we riders use while taking turns. And yeah, I'm excited to try the new multi-grip tires provided by CEAT.
Okay. And how do you think it's going to change the game and help you in your racing, these multi-grip tires?
By giving more grip when we land. Like, we always, as a rider, tires play a very important role. So the front wheel, the grip, what we want to enter into a corner or into a rut. So we always prefer the best of the best tires. So right now CEAT has launched, so we are just waiting to get the testing done on the tires. And once the testing is done, we can tell you more about it.
Oh, I would love to hear about it more. So you guys must be excited for it, right?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay. So Ikshan, tell me, all these big brands like CEAT and Toyota are coming into this sport. How do you think it's going to help?
The motorsport in India right now, I would like to say in the beginning stage, And when a brand like Seat, Toyota are coming in, I think it's going to be the future of motorsports in India looks bright and strong.
Okay. So do you have any aims for the sport or any goals or the place where you want to see Supercross in India?
India should win the gold medal in Supercross like every other sport.
Aim into that.
Aiming for the World Championships to happen in India, like MXGP, which is the biggest World Championship happening in Europe and all over the globe. So we are looking forward that even India should support the Supercross and the motocross events.
So I'm sure infrastructure and all the other big brands will have to come into this particular sport so this dream can happen.
Yes.
Well, hopefully this will happen soon in future. Well, thank you so much for this amazing interaction. I had a wonderful time interacting with you guys, getting to know your stories, your journeys. And we all can see their love and passion for the sport. And I'm sure with SEAT ISRL, we are going to see a new sporting revolution in India.